What's going on, everyone? So I've talked about how I think that the Lakers need to make a big kind of splash trade, right? Go get a Zach LaVine, go get a Vucevic and a Alonzo, or Vucevic and a Bruce Brown. Like, you need to get like 1 to 2 guys that can just really be a difference maker, really come in and just kind of change the landscape of this team. Or you need to kind of piece together another 3 or 4 guys that collectively, more so towards the back end, really kind of just change the overall landscape of the Lakers. So that could be like one big piece and like 2 or 3 smaller pieces, or like 4 or 5 smaller pieces, and just kind of reshape. So for example, right, like go get a Nikola Vucevic and then pivot to, a team like the Charlotte Hornets and go get a Josh Green and a Cody Martin, right? Or can you get a Vucevic and like an Io, right? Like, I would love to see something, right? Like, outside of obviously Zach LaVine. I still think Zach LaVine is the guy. I still think that's the guy you get, but move Zach LaVine from the conversation, right? If you could get, say, a Io and a Nikola Vucevic for, Rui, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and whatever, Christian Wood plus filler, right? Whatever, right? And give up a first, say 2 seconds, right? Supposedly you could have Nikola Vucevic for 2 seconds. If you could get Io for a first and, salary filler, perfect, great, get that. Now you got those 2 guys there. Literally, you could start Io as your point guard, right? Combo guard, athleticism, versatility. And then if you could go then trade for Josh Green and a, Nick Richards, combine the 2, right? Like, if you could get those 2 to pair with Nikola Vucevic, or instead of Nick Richards, say you got a Cody Martin, right? Which that would be about $20 million between Cody Martin and a Josh Green, which is fine. Lakers could still do that even with the Io and stuff. Like, if you could do something like that, I think now the Lakers would be a contender, because I think now you have just better, your top 8 are just overall better, right? You have like an Io with like a Reeves and a, LeBron and an AD and a Vucevic, right? Then you have like Dorian Finney-Smith. You have, go bring in a Dennis Smith Jr. or whatever, Max Christie, right? Like, you have, Cam Reddish still if you need to at that point, right? Dalton Connect, go Josh Richards, right? Like, Josh Green, right? Like, you have these guys, you have these pieces now that can really kind of flush out this roster. You can go with multiple standpoints, or if you wanted to keep Reeves, like you go Reeves, go Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Nikola Vucevic, and then still have, an Io with a, Max Christie, and then a Josh Richards, Josh Green, and then a, whatever else, right? Getting scatter Nikola Vucevic and Anthony Davis. Jackson Hayes could be your third guy or your third center, right? Like, however you got to shake it up. But the point is you either need that guy that can come in and just completely change everything, or you need the back end pieces, right, to really kind of just upgrade your top 8. Because the problem that the Lakers have is that they're outside of LeBron and AD, you don't have the consistency. But you have too many guys that, when they're not giving you that offensive production, don't give you anything else. Rui, when he's not producing and shooting the lights out, gives you nothing else. Right? The guy doesn't rebound, guys doesn't defend, doesn't do anything. Austin Reeves, when he's not shooting the lights out, liability defensively, he's not impacting the game enough to do that. Right? Like, but a guy like, say, a Josh Green, for example, got it right that time. There we go. Right? He's a guy that, yes, can go and shoot 40% from 3, but when he's not shooting well, he still can buckle down, do the dirty work, dive for loose balls, help you chase down rebounds, right? Like, he was great at that in Dallas, just being that dirty work guy. That's why a lot of people were upset that Dallas let him go, right? Because he was a guy that really could impact the game in a multitude of ways beyond his scoring, right? Like, why is Dorian Finney-Smith so good for this Lakers team? Because he impacts the game beyond his scoring, right? When he's hitting shots and doing all that stuff, that's great. But when he's not, he can still go get your rebounds. He still gets after it defensively. He's still hustling and, sacrificing his body, like doing the dirty work. You need more athleticism. You need more youth. You need guys that can kind of compete with the rest of the league. Right? Lakers just, they can't deal with youth. They can't deal with the athleticism and the speed and all that stuff. How do you combat that? You either just get the guys that basically nullify that. It doesn't matter. A guy like a Zach LaVine who comes in and, hey, he's going to give you 35. I don't care how athletic and how good you are, right? Like he's just going to light you up. Or you got to go match that athleticism, right? You got to go get those guys. You got to get, like I said, an Io, Josh Green, get a Cody Martin, like these guys that can fill out, and then you add that to a Dorian Finney-Smith. You add that to a Max Christie. Now you have 4, 5, 6 guys that are all athletic, versatile, can shoot, can defend, and can do the dirty work. So when let's say they are struggling to score, they are struggling to shoot the basketball, it's fine. You can still do other things. You can still slow guys down, and then you can lean on LeBron and AD a little more, and they don't have to handle the workload of everything else, right? Like, you just get a better balance. The only way that the Lakers are really going to be able to turn this around is better balance. They just don't have the balance. Dorian Finney-Smith is and Max Christie, really, those two guys are the only balanced guys that the Lakers have, right? I'm not saying that they're the best guys, any of that. I'm talking about their balance. They're the only guys that can cook offensively and knock down a couple threes a game and get after it defensively and chase down loose ball, do all that stuff. But they're also the only guys that even when their offense isn't falling, they're still impacting the game in other ways. When Austin Reeves is struggling to shoot the basketball, what else does he do? Yeah, he can make some plays, find the open man, throw the lob, stuff like that. But he's getting cooked. Teams are hunting him down. Possession after possession after possession after possession. Play after play after play after play. I'm not sold on Austin Reeves as your third guy, but if the Lakers really want him as your third guy, you need to get those complementary pieces. You need to get those guys who really have an impact. Why does Bruce Brown make so much sense? Because he's a guy that can be that dog that you can slot alongside Austin Reeves. He can just get after it. Right? Possession after possession after possession, defend multiple positions, do the dirty work, do the hustle plays. People, if you look at his box score, you think like, oh, he's pedestrian, but it's the impact. Guy like an Alex Caruso, averaging 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Every team in the league would trade a first for him right now. He just got a new extension, is going to make $20 million a year. Why? Because he impacts the game in ways that are immeasurable. Dorian Finney-Smith has impacted the Lakers in ways that are immeasurable, right? You need guys that do that. Like, you either need higher end guys that do that have experience and understand their role and play their role to the best of their ability. Again, guy like a Bruce Brown, or you need to get 3 of those guys, and then by committee, so that way you always have those guys on the court. Right now, you have sequences where you don't have those guys on the court. You have sequences where you literally have 2 or 3 guys that, unless they're shooting the lights out, don't give you anything. But if you're going to keep Austin Reeves, well, now you could have Austin Reeves with a Josh Green. You could have Austin Reeves with a Cody Martin and a Dorian Finney-Smith. You could have Austin Reeves with the Io. You could have Austin Reeves with these guys to where you always have ball pressure. You always have athletes. You always have defensive pieces. You always have athleticism that can push the pace and do this and do that and cross the T's and dot the I's for the Lakers. It's what the Lakers need. They don't have an abundance of those guys, right? The only guys that they really have, again, are Max Christie and Dorian Finney-Smith. Jared Vanderbilt, when he comes back, is that guy, but offensively, he's a guy you can't really count on regularly, right? So if the Lakers don't fix that, or they can't get 3, 4 of those type of guys, then you need to get that big impact. You need that home run swing trade. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least you tried. At least you made the attempt. Like, I've seen so many people, like, what happens if Zach LaVine doesn't work? If Zach LaVine doesn't work, you're not winning a championship. Guess what? Newsflash, not winning a championship anyway. Right? But I would rather take the chance. I would rather run the risk. I'd rather do something than just throw our hands up and just go, you know what, we're down, we're cooked, that's it. Right? Like, either A, make the big splash, right? Like I said, a Zach LaVine or a Nikola Vucevic and a Bruce Brown or Nikola Vucevic and Alonzo Ball, or, get 2 higher end guys, or you need 3 or 4 kind of lower end guys, like mid-tier to lower tier guys that can come in that are upgrades over like the core pieces we have now, right? Obviously, I'd still have concerns about the consistency, but you got to match. Like, every time we play a young, youthful, athletic team, we get ran through. Why is that? Because we don't have athletes. We don't have young, athletic, versatile players, right? Rui Hachimura, compared to you and I, yes, would probably outrun us, outjump us, out everything us, right? Like, but by NBA standards, he's not that, right? Like, I've said, like, Rui's not athletic. People be like, Rui is athletic. By our standards, yes. By NBA standards, no, he's not athletic. He is a lower center of gravity guy. He's a big, physical, burly type of power forward, not a 3. You need to get more guys that can fill those roles and play those parts, right? Like, you need to get, 3 or 4 of these, like, 6'5" to 6'7" guys, right? That are athletes that can run and gun and sprint and do all those things. Yeah, it's not the sexy names. I get it. It's not the names that it's not the flashy names, but those are look at all the teams that are having success. They don't have a bunch of sexy, flashy names. Teams that do, like the Suns, guess what? They're a play-in team, right? The Lakers are a play-in team right now. So it's frustrating. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel with your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.